الخاسرون. كيف تكفرون بالله وكنتم ثم يميتكم ثم يحييكم ثم إليه ترجعون. هو الذي خلق ما في الأرض جميعا ثم استوى كيف سواهن سبع سماوات إني جاعل في الأرض خليفة قالوا أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء ونحن نسبح بحمدك ونقدس لك قال إني أعلم ما لا تعلمون. وعلم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين. قالوا سبحانك صدق الله العلي العظيم.
To Sudan and elsewhere. Thank you, brother. Blanking on his name. Mohammed Contreras, yes, for the beautiful Quran recitation. And for the record, I said that without you guys saying it. There's a kids program for kids that don't like sitting quietly in the halls. They're right next door. There won't be an English program later tonight. We're blessed to have Seyed Abbas Razavian speaking here for the past 3 nights. Alhamdulillah. So please welcome him up for the last of his 4 speeches with a loud salawat. Allah. Can I give you something?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم إلى قيام يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum ya Abu Abdullah. Before we begin, I humbly request a Surah Fatiha for all the believers, for all your departed, those that are not in this world anymore, especially our dear friend Abbas Hassanain, who I had the opportunity to have discussions with in our classes, and he's from the Yasin Center. He came here to help his child, sign up and enroll and get settled in Berkeley, who passed away yesterday. So please recite Surah Al-Fatiha with a Surah Al-Tawheed after Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. When you lose a friend and you see how devastating it is one of the hard things is losing a friend, losing someone that is beloved. It allows you to reconnect to Imam Hussein alayhi salam to see how hard it was in front of his own eyes, losing his friends and loyals like Habib ibn Madahir, Musa ibn Awsaja, others that he has spent many years with. It is the day we wish we were at the shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Official numbers are more than 21 million people. Largest peaceful gathering in the world right now. It is underrepresented. The news, you don't see much about it. You don't see the sacrifice, the hospitality, the brotherhood that exists in the walk of Arbaeen. Our hearts are there, but we should not feel left out, because I'm sure that we all have somebody, a friend, family that is making dua for us. And that is sufficient. When they do a salam on our behalf, they make dua in our behalf. And the fact that we are here, many of us, we could not go for different reasons. But hopefully we are getting rewarded from far to do ziyarat of Imam Hussein. I always imagine when it's Arbaeen and speaking, I myself didn't have that tawfiq to go because usually I'm lecturing. But I see the place that is the remembrance of Imam Hussein, I don't see it too far from the shrine of Imam Hussein. So please imagine in the shrine of Imam Hussein, because this is the closest that you can become. It is a gathering for him. Imagine this is a mawqif for Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and we're walking towards him, because that connection to Imam Hussein is what is very important. That remembrance Ziyarat Arbaeen, even if you do it from afar, it still counts. It's one of the 5 signs of the believer. So make sure you do this ziyarat. This ziyarat is sometimes you have mourning ceremonies that do not have narrations, and we still do them. For example, mourning for the imams have passed away, many of them, there's no narration specifically that this day imams every year would cry. But we still do it because it's ta'zeem or sha'air. We still do it because we are honoring the symbols of God. But some occurrences, we have a specific narration that on this day, one of the example, or Laylatul Qadr, or Hajj, for example. These are from the imams. Another one of these is Arbaeen. Arbaeen, there's a ziyarat from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. Arbaeen, there's traditions to visit him on that day. You have the tradition from Imam Hassan Askari that it is the 5 signs of the believers. Therefore, this is for us a practice Imams want to teach us. How did this come about? We don't really exactly know. A lot of it was political, a lot of it was social. Walking towards Imam Hussein's shrine alayhi salam is equal to, each step is equal to Umrah or Hajj, is rewardable. But how it came about, this is in the hands of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. We always know, and we for sure tell ourselves that these gatherings are administered by Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. We are just preparing ourselves. The rest, whatever happens, is in the hands of Ahlul Bayt. Now you have 20 million people. It is a very powerful sign. It's very extremely strong. Imagine how this can connect to the dhuhur of the Imam. Remember, I always said that, and we see in the ziyarat, that you connect Imam Hussein alayhi salam to Imam Mahdi. Imagine after the ziyarat, how powerful people, 20 million people ready, and they said, we are ready to protect the Imam of the age. Let's go, let's do it. You can see how easily this can be connected to the faraj of the Imam. So our goal from these majalis is to produce soldiers, produce followers of the Imam that don't just come here to mourn and that's it. They learn, they become like Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and they're willing to get the revenge of Imam Hussein's blood. They're willing to say, Ya la tharat al-Hussein, we are ready for you, Imam al-Zaman, to get the revenge of Imam Hussein's blood alayhi salam. As Imam or Sayyid Musa Sadr mentions, he says, do not be like those, and he said it, do not be like those who cries for Imam Hussein, yet beheads Imam Hussein. Do not be like those who cry for Imam Hussein, but yet behead Imam Hussein. And he says, how do you cry for Imam Hussein, behead Imam Hussein? He says, you cry for him, but you kill the message of Imam Hussein. You kill it. Imam Hussein stood against injustice. He fought against oppression. Those that want, for example, peace. For example, with those that are oppressing everyone. Those that sell out the Muslims. Those that sell out the Palestinians. They are the ones that you can say are crying for Imam Hussein, but yet they are beheading Imam Hussein's message. So the entire purpose of this is to learn these 100 lessons that we have. In the entire 4 nights, or now it's a day that we've been talking and speaking, is about reformation, is about change. How to change for ourselves for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. When you look at what is going on today, and the way we have to change ourselves, we talked about last night about not missing this great opportunity in front of us, which is called life. And that every day when Allah gives you life, you are trading something for something. There's business going on. At the end of the day, just like a person that has their own business, they look at the income and they look at the expenses. What is our expense at the end of, for example, yesterday? Expense was 1 day of life. 1 day of life. Some people I saw, they actually had boxes of all the days or all the weeks or months that they're going to live. Average lifespan is 80. There's no guarantee we'll reach 80 or 85. But they had boxes and each day they checked it. Yesterday we gave 1 day of life. I ask you, what did we gain? So there is an opportunity for us to gain as much as we can from this world while we're alive. But it is up to us to make sure we maximize every day, because we do not know if there's a tomorrow. Quran mentions for us wastabiqul khairat, race towards good. Or Quran says as-sabiqun as-sabiqun, race each other, those that are the first. Instead of racing each other, because Allah has naturally made us in some way competitive. To be competitive is good. To be jealous is wrong. Allah made us to be competitive, for example, or to learn from one another. That there are sabiqun, for example, the first person to come to SABA wins, for example, because they helped open the doors. The last person to leave is the one who benefited the most. The one who cries the most, for example, will be rewarded the most. There is a competition that is going, that Surah Al-Waqi'ah mentions, not only Ashabul Yameen or Ashabul Shimal, the people of the right, people of the left. Surah Al-Waqi'ah introduces to As-Sabiqun, As-Sabiqun, the first. They are Ula'ika al-Muqarrabun. They are the closest to Allah. Instead of this competitive nature of humans, that we are helping each other, racing as a community, going for ziyarat, doing, for example, tabligh, helping each other, helping the family. Instead of this type of competition, unfortunately, man has taken this drive to compete with one another in material goals. We look at each other's homes, for example, we go to majlis, it's good. Go to majlis at each other's homes. But then we compare, oh, look at his home. Look at my home. Oh, there's a competitive nature. They say there's this one person that was going to Jam Karan for 40 days. 40 days Jam Karan. You know where Masjid Jam Karan is in Qom. Many people, especially from Tehran, drive there 2 hours, take a bus, 2-3 hours. They go there, especially Tuesday nights, for a special connection with the Imam of the age. They ask this person, why are you going there? He said that my in-laws, they got a new car. I'm going there for 40 days, for example, my brother-in-law, to make sure that I get a new car so I don't get left behind, for example. Unfortunately, even our du'as, what we pray for is just material. We're stuck in such competition and materialism in our career. We're always competing with one another when it comes to career. We're competing one another when it comes to the home, to the car. But I ask you yourselves, do you ever wish, for example, you had this much knowledge? Do you ever wish that you made this much ibadah? Do you ever wish that you had this much good deeds? And the day of judgment will be like this. Today, searching for dirham and dinar, gold coins, silver coins. Tomorrow will be thirsty for good deeds. There is this competition that is existing. But the sabiqun are those that race each other, are the first in knowledge, first in reciting Quran, first in doing salat, first another. But everything is backwards. Everyone is racing each other when it comes to careers, when it comes. Side note, is it bad to have a good job? Is it bad to have a large house? No, it's very good. We actually need economic power. For the imam to come back, we need financial, military, economic power. We need unity. This is what we understand from the sayings of the ulama, that Khaja Nasiruddin Tusi says, "Ghaibatuhu anna." His occultation is because of us. We don't have enough power to protect him. We don't have enough power to fulfill his goals for him. So being economically strong is good for us. But what I'm trying to say is maximizing ourselves, our potential that we have in this world, and making sure that every day that I'm alive, I'm saying this to myself, that I leave the stage of a stagnation. That I'm just, every day is the same. I've been coming to the majlis for 20 years. I'm still the same person. My knowledge is still the same. Just all that's happened, I've aged. We don't want that. Why did God give us life? To progress. We said last night there are 3 stages. You either progress, or you're in stagnation, or you regress. And we said that Ashura had all 3 of these. We want to be of those that every day is not equal to the last, because we have lost. Maqboon. Whoever's 2 days are the same as maqboon, is lost. There is so much potential in you, brothers and sisters. And shaitan always wants to make you preoccupied with different and useless things. We said that is not something haram necessarily, but it causes maybe 1,000 haram things, hundreds of haram things. Ayatollah Miyanajin was saying this. He said, is the disease of laziness. The disease of laziness, just sitting there being stagnant, not doing anything. And then what happens? I prayed the same. I used to pray. I know Allah the same. I used to know Him. And at the age of 70, 80, when you're so old, you'll see you're never progress. And on the day of judgment, you look at your friends. You look at some of those that we said this competition. You look at them and you say, oh no, I wish I was like them. So Allah, give me one more chance. So dear brother, dear sister, you are at the majlis of Imam Hussein. You have this opportunity to become the best. It is only one step away. To take yourselves away from haram, to take yourselves into doing more good action, involving yourself, progressing more. One of the best ways we understand that there are two types of sustenance, two types of rizq. God gives us two types of blessings. We're not limited to one of these. One type of rizq or sustenance is material sustenance. We need to have it. Even some of the traditions talk about poverty causing people to go towards disbelief. Having a good car, having a good job. This is rizq, it's good. But when it comes to the Holy Quran, when we go into this verse and we understand it, فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانِ إِلَىٰ طَعَامِهِ, that mankind should look at his ta'am. Mankind should watch and look at his ta'am. The tradition has that Imam Baqir alayhi salam was asked, "Ma food mean here?" Man should look at his food. The Imam says, "Khuduhu amman ya'khudu." His knowledge and where he seeks that knowledge, where he seeks this knowledge from. So two types of provision exist. One provision is the material, the second is the spiritual. A lot of us, when it comes to ourselves, we think we're rich. You might be from a rich family, for example. You might have a very luxurious life. But if someone were to look at you, the angels were to look at you, say, oh, that's a poor person actually. Bichara, he doesn't have much. Some of us might be very poor. We might come from a very poor background. But the angels are looking at them and say, oh, this person's super rich. He's a billionaire. Some of the scholars were saying, if you say Salman, if today's Salman of Farsi came to our majalis, he was so poor that maybe he was said in Iran, he said, this scholar said, some of you would try to kick him out of your majlis. It'd be too poor for you. It's like, why is he dressed like this? Why does he look like this? How come he doesn't have anything? Maybe you wouldn't want to be his friend. You want to be someone with your economic class. Salman al-Farsi was a great example of a person whose richness was inside. And this is the dua of Imam Hussein alayhi salam on the day of Arafah. Allahumma ja'al ghanai fi nafsi. God, make my rich. I want to be rich within. Salman al-Farsi, they say, when he became the governor of Madain, Imam Ali alayhi salam appointed him as the governor of Madain. He was coming with a very humble animal, possibly a donkey. He was coming alone, and people were waiting Madain because the last governor was a very rich, powerful, for example, person that they knew. So they asked this person they see riding a donkey. He said, very humble, poor. So, have you seen the governor? He's coming. Have you seen him? And he says, yes, it's me. I'm the governor. Began to laugh. For example, you're the governor? How come, why this? Why in this state? And then he showed the order of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam that yes, I have been appointed as a governor. Everyone gave allegiance, respected Salman al-Farsi. Why? Because he was not attached to the world. Why? Because he learned from Imam Ali. Because the entire purpose you followers of Ahlul Bayt is to become like your Imam. The entire purpose of Imam Hussein. Mourning him is to become Hussein. And you see that Salman did this very well. He learned from the zuhd and asceticism of Amir al-Mu'mineen. When Ali is your man, what do you expect from his student? His student will be the same way. So he sought that richness. And where he stayed was at a very humble place. And the way governor was the same way as Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. Please recite salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Of this richness, we're saying to learn and do islah of ourselves to become rich. One of the best favors that God can give you is what? Quran says very clearly that Quran, many times when you read it, gives you the entire picture of mankind, what's behind the scenes. Quran mentions that there are those that when we give them rizq, for example, when you give them sustenance, material sustenance, he says, Rabbi akraman, my God has honored me. I've got a nice paycheck, nice job, God loves me. Yes, I'm God's favor. But it says when we take away that rizq, and sometimes someone loses their job, or sometimes somebody gets demoted, or they're struggling, you say, oh, Rabbi ahanan. This is from the Quran. My Lord has insulted me. But kalla, Quran says, kalla, it's not this way. Do not think that however much money you have, even though yes, we're appreciative of it, do not think this is the favor. There's something else. And that is that second type of rizq that I'm talking about. That true richness. Because the type of rizq, the unbeliever, the enemy of God, many of times, those that challenge the prophets, they were sometimes very rich. Was very rich, right? He gives them this type of rizq, money. But there's another type of gift he gives to that special person. What does he give him? What do you think it is? Himself. Himself. He shows you himself to him. He gives that relationship. He gives enjoyment. Brothers, sisters, I remember one of my akhlaq teachers would tell me, he would say, don't think that when you sin, immediately this bala is going to happen, a car accident or whatever, you're going to be, no. Or for example, lightning is going to hit you, for example, I stopped praying, for example, or no. The first thing when you start sinning that God takes away from you is that lidhat of munajat, that enjoyment of talking with him. That I have a thirst, I love doing ziyarah, I love it, I enjoy it. Or for example, I love doing salat. Sheikh Murtada Ansari, Khatam al-Fuqahai wal-Mujtahideen, he lived around 100, 150 years ago. Today, Ulama in Qom, Ayatollah Zanjani says, if Sheikh Murtada Ansari is a mujtahid, if he's the criterion for mujtahid, ijtihad, being a jurist, then I'm half a mujtahid. If Fulani is a mujtahid, is a criterion, then I'm two mujtahids. Says, if Sheikh Ansari is, I'm half. Sheikh Ansari once, they say that he was the main jurist, and he says that after him, jurisprudence went down. It's been going down for the last, say, 100 years. Once, he was waiting, and he asked for example, cold water, ice water. In Najaf, that time, it was very hot. Ice was something hard to come by. There wasn't refrigerators. So he asked for cold water. By the time they're going to bring that cold water, he says, okay, let me do 2 units of salat. Let me do 2 units. They don't waste their time. The ulama, they're always either guiding, doing salat. They're always in this harakat, this journey towards ilallah. So he said, let me pray while they bring that water, and he's still in 2 units of just musab. He's in that prayer so much and begins to worship Allah so much. He gets into worship so much, he completely forgets about his thirst. And by the time he drinks that cool water, which is maybe rare in Najaf, it became hot and warm again. But that is Shaykh Murtada Ansar. This is the greats, that they truly saw that appetite to reach Allah, this thirst. Sometimes you say, I don't feel like making dua. It's the worst thing. I don't want to read Quran. But if I give you, for example, a nice video game that came out, or for example, social media, or for example, going eating. And this is sad because the sign of the munafiq and hypocrite is that his himmat, his strife will be towards food and drink. While the believer, his strife is towards worship of Allah. So engage yourselves today. It's Arbaeen of Imam Hussein. Where are your inclinations? Is it towards the knowledge? Is it towards worship? Or is it towards the material? If it is towards the material like me, why don't we do Islah right now? Why don't we ask Imam Hussein alayhi salam to change us, to change the way, the direction we are facing, to change what we want, to change us and make us rich people. Imam Hussein alayhi salam, I'm going to be ending with this example of how rich Imam Hussein alayhi salam was and who we lost on this day. Whose 40th is it? True muwahhid, someone that no one else in the world knew. Besides Rasulullah, Imam Ali, Lady Fatima, his brother Imam Hassan, nobody else knew Allah as great as Imam Hussein alayhi salam. That is why you see the example that, hammuhu or ghammuhu, whoever cries for Ahlul Bayt, alayhimu salam, whoever gives a sad grief for them, it is tasbih of God, glorification of God. Whoever is sad for them is equal to ibadat, because they are the display of Islam. They are the living Quran. You cry for him, you're crying for Quran, you're crying for Islam. Prophet Yunus, to give you an example of the tawheed and monotheism and the richness of Imam Hussein, because we said, what does God give you when he really loves you? What does he give you? God. If you want to remember one thing from today, or maybe last year, say, what does Seyed talk about? So Seyed taught me that if God really loves me, he'll give me himself. The other stuff are important, but not as that important. The real richness is tawheed himself. Prophet Yunus, how many people here know the story of Prophet Yunus? Prophet Yunus has a very interesting story. I think they call him Jonah, right? Yunus is Jonah. Prophet Yunus lived a time period with terrible people. Maybe 20, 30 years. The prophets, all of them, they tried to do Islah and reform society. They did not want to believe in God. They did not want to believe in one Lord. They did not want to believe him as a prophet. 20, 30 years he spent time and still him. If it was me and you, maybe one day, one discussion, but say, forget them. They're going to hell, for example. I don't get away, for example. But Prophet Yunus, for 20, 30 years, he was like this. Until final information that there's going to be a punishment for the people. Maybe us would be yes, yes, the people would be punished. But still, Prophet went and told them, listen, devastation's coming. Bala is coming. Change yourselves. If you do not believe in this message, you have a little bit of chance, for example. Ha, ha, ha. They began to laugh again more. Oh, punishment's coming. Now he's infuriated. 20, 30 years. He tells them there's punishment. They're making fun of it. Until he says, Quran mentions, وَذَنُّونَ. ذَنُّونَ. And this verses is in Surah Salatul Ghufayla, between Maghrib and Isha. وَذَنُّونَ means the person of the whale or fish. The person that was in the eaten or swallowed by fish or whale. وَذَنُّونَ إِذْ ذَهَبَ مُغَاضِبًا. He left in anger. He was upset, anger. And he didn't think that we would do anything for him because he left. But this story is so beautiful because Allah here takes the side of the sinners instead of his prophet. Allah punished Yunus, even though it's not his sin, and mentions to him, why did you leave early? Why did you not still give him another chance? This is the mercy of Allah. 20, 30 years, they made fun of him. It gives him punishment. He leaves. So he leaves the city, and then he goes and rides a boat. He's riding the boat, it becomes a storm. Some of the versions say this, there's a storm, and they draw straws. The short straw ends up for Prophet Yunus. He has to exit the boat in a storm. He's holding on with a rope because he didn't want to add extra weight to capsize the boat. That is when he gets swallowed by the fish or whale. He is now stuck, and mentions that he does this special dua, this special dhikr, and it is dhikr Yunusiyya. Has anyone heard this dhikr? Dhikr Yunusiyya. It is actually, some of the urafa, I'm not again into mysticism or anything, don't come and after me and ask me for ways to lead you, guide you, I don't know. But this dhikr Yunusiyya, I just heard, it's just interesting. They say don't do it too much without a teacher. Said, for example, those like doing it 10,000 times or something like this, they say you need a teacher for it. It's that powerful, this dhikr of Yunus. And what is it? La ilaha illa ant, subhanaka, inni kuntu min al-zalimin. La ilaha illa ant, there is no God but you. I am of those who has done wrong, who has oppressed, done wrong. He says this, and then the Quran says, وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْغَامِ, and then we saved him. He said this beautiful dhikr and dua, Allah saves him. And then this part, وَكَذَلِكَ نُنْجِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, in the same way we rescue the believers. Imam Sadiq in tradition mentions, I'm surprised a person who has difficulty doesn't say this line and that difficulty isn't removed, possibly because this, كَذَلِكَ نُنْجِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, just the same way we rescue the believers with this dhikr, this sentence. This is one line, so powerful Tawheed saved him from bala, and whoever recites it will be saved. Imam Hussein alayhi salam in Dua Arafah continues this Tawheed, continues it with 9 or 10 other steps. I'm talking about the Tawheed of Imam Hussein. Prophet Yunus gave one stage, we understand. Dua Arafah, Imam Hussein alayhi salam continues. Says, La ilaha illa an subhanaka inni kuntu min al-dhalimeen, he says. Then he adds, La ilaha illa an subhanaka inni kuntu min al-mustaghfareen. Allah, I am of those who seek forgiveness. La ilaha illa an subhanaka inni kuntu min al-muwahhideen. God, I am of those who profess your oneness. All of I'm saying, I want you right now think. All of this he said on the day, but he implemented completely in day of Arafah, but he completely implemented on the day of Ashura. Muwahhideen, how is Imam Hussein alayhi salam of the Muwahhideen in day of Ashura? Because his only worship, his only hope was with Allah. La ilaha illa an subhanaka inni kuntum min al-khaifeen. This is the richness, tawheed, that Allah gave to Imam Hussein. I am of the khaifeen. I am those who is truly fearful of you, because Imam Hussein did not fear anyone else but Allah on day of Ashura. Sometimes it comes, we see a strong person come to us, we get afraid. Now it's 2 people, now it's 3 people, we get scared. But Imam Hussein alayhi salam, there's no fear, because inna awliya Allah la khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun. The walis of God, those that are vicegerents of Allah, those that are the friends of Allah, they have no fear, they have no huzn, they have no grief. La ilaha illa an subhanaka inni kuntum min al-wajilin. La ilaha illa an subhanaka inni kuntum min al-rajin. I'm reading Dua Arafah for you to show the richness in Tawheed and what we can learn from our master Imam Hussein alayhi salam. I'm of those who is hopeful. Day of Karbala, day of Ashura, place of Karbala, Imam Hussein had all the factors of despair. Thirsty, hungry, with children, with family, outnumbered tremendously. But you see, he had never had despair. He only had hope in Allah. La ilaha illa an subhanaka inni kuntu min al-muwahhilin. Muwahhilin are those who say La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illa an subhanaka inni kuntu min as-sa'ilin. I am of those who really seek you. I only ask you. I only want from you, because I believe that Allah is sufficient. La ilaha illa an subhanaka inni min al-mukabbarin. I am of those who believe that you are the greatest. La ilaha illa an subhanaka rabbi wa rabbi Arbaeen awwaleen. Please recite salawat. So it's this richness that Imam Hussein alayhi salam had, this connection and understanding of being a true person who asks for Allah, true fear of Allah. This tawheed and monotheism that Imam Hussein alayhi salam had made him the champion of Karbala, made him, that is why we are here today for him, because he did this for Allah. So therefore we see that the way that we view God, and when we say we need to change ourselves, reform ourselves, 3 attributes of God, I'm going to end with this, that we need to have in order to become a true muwahhid. 3 attributes. There's many attributes of God, but 3 main. 1, that huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. God is powerful, has ability. If you want to have that richness, you must believe God is capable of everything. If I face problems, if I have difficulties, I always tell myself, who created Earth? Who created the universe? What is the closest star? Like 4 billion light years, something like that, the closest star. Or 4 million light years. Where is the farthest star? 25 billion light years. The vast universe, in detail. Allah created this. So I have a powerful God. He can remove my problem. My problem is nothing for Allah. He can change it. Do you need a stronger God? Do you need a more powerful God? Doesn't He not suffice you? First quality that I want you to take home is power of Allah. 2 is the wisdom and knowledge of God. That God knows better than you. God has wisdom. God is wisdom. God is knowledge. Look how much wisdom there is in the design of the universe. Do you know more? Allah, do you even know what's going to happen 2 minutes from now? So when you're facing difficulty, when God presents you something maybe you don't like, maybe you can say to yourself at least that He knows best. Maybe there's khair in this. Maybe there's good in this. Maybe He's repelling evil from me. Maybe, for example, if this marriage didn't work out, maybe it would have been a bad spouse. Maybe if this job didn't work out, maybe it was not a good job. I always trust Allah. These three things cause me to have trust in God. As young Muslim Shia followers of Ahlul Bayt, we must trust Allah, believing in a powerful God. 2, believing in a wise and knowledgeable God. And 3, believing in a compassionate God. One who loves you more than you love yourself. One who loves you more than your mother loves you. So why would you not have tawakkul to this kind of God when He's all powerful, all knowledgeable, and loves you so much, has so much mercy for you? Why would you not ever, why would you have fear of others? I'm telling myself, why would you not have hope in Him? Why wouldn't you do tawakkul to Him? Why wouldn't you place your future, your family's future, the entire world, everything that's happening, have tawakkul on God? God, you are my sustainer. You are my creator. I trust all of this to you. So therefore, one of the examples of richness that we're looking for while we have a limited time in this world is to gain this ma'rifah of God, gain this knowledge of God, gain this connection to God. How Imam Hussein alayhi salam showed. Prophet Yunus had 1 stage, Imam Hussein alayhi salam showed 10 stages of this tawheed, and not only said it, he implemented it on the day of Ashura in Karbala. And he showed Ashura, if you want to say, is nothing but the display of Tawheed. Nothing but the submission and ubudiyat of a slave of God to Allah, to whatever Allah wills. I ask Allah to make all of us, inshallah, of those whose richness is within. And that we learn from Imam Hussein alayhi salam before it's too late, that we know Allah, we connect to Him, we worship Him as inshallah as sincerely as we can. Please recite salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajr. We'll make dua right now because we're going to connect it to the matam. I'm going to do a little bit of the rosa of Arbaeen. Ya Allah, grant us, inshallah, tawheed. Grant us good action. Forgive our sins, inshallah. Make us close to Imam Hussein. And next year, make us of those that do ziyarat of Arbaeen of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Forgive our departed, cure our sick, help all those that are oppressed, especially in Gaza. Help those that are fighting against oppression, give them victory, inshallah. And make us of the good companions of Imam Zaman. Make him satisfied with us and expedite his return with the salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Is the 40th of Imam Hussein. One of the old companions of Imam Hussein who knew him as a child was there when he was born. Is Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari. Jabir ibn Abdullah Ansari, the one who we have tradition that Rasulullah said, send salam to my son Muhammad, to Baqir alayhi salam. He lived till then. He knew Imam Hussein. He is one of those who wrote down Lawh Fatima, the tablet that Allah gave to Rasulullah. He has knowledge of Imamat. Some people loved Imam Hussein because he's grandson of Rasulullah. Jabir loved Imam Hussein because he's the Imam of the age. So his ziyarat is the ziyarat of ma'rifah. His ziyarat is the ziyarat of knowledge. Possibly he's blinded now. He's old because he's a companion of Rasulullah. It's the year 60, 61. So therefore he comes with atiyah to see Imam Hussein, to visit him. One of the first. The tradition has this. Kharajtu ma'a Jabir, atiyah mentions. When we came to Karbala, we performed the ghusl and we went to the Furat to do the ghusl. Jabir changed his clothes and put on perfume. There's possibly right now no specific shrine. Maybe it's just a mound of dirt. But still Jabir is said he has ma'rifat. He knew what it means to do ziyarat of Imam Hussein. He doesn't need, the golden dome. He knows who is there. So he puts on perfume. He changes his clothes. He's going to visit the Imam who 40 days ago was Shaheed, one of the first visitors. حتى إذا دنا من القبر. Now slowly and slowly Jabir, as an old person, possibly blind, is coming to the grave of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. In Arabic it says Al-Misnihi Al-Mastuhu. He says, take my hand and let me touch the grave of Imam Hussein. And Atiyah says, I took. At the Kharra ala Jabir couldn't take on the grave of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, this old companion of Rasulullah. Maghshi is out. He faints. Says Maqtal Khawrazmi, Bahar al-Anwar, Tabari, they narrate this. Says, many people, this reminds you of, have passed out or have been dropped from the horse or have fainted on Ashura. Some of those is, for example, Hadrat Abbas, who fell as well. We have this line, فَانْقَلَبَ عَلَى فَرْسِهِ. Hadrat Abbas was saha ila akhihi al-Husayn adriki. He was one of those that he fell off his horse. Jabir on the day of Arbaeen fell. On the day, but there's a difference from the falling of Jabir and the falling of Hadrat Abbas. I apologize. Saadat, those that are family with Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Hadrat Abbas did not have arms when he fell. When a person falls, you break the fall with your arms. When Hadrat Abbas is going lightning fast to bring water for Sukaina, to bring children of Imam Hussein, he fell arms to block himself. We had multiple people fall. The other falling is the falling of Imam Hussein on the day of Ashura. They say, Father Amir al-Mu'mineen, Bismillah wa Billah, to Rasulullah when he fell off his horse. John passes out. The narrator says, I spray. He then sprays water. This is what you do when someone passes out. You put some water on him. Falamma afaqa. Then he woke up. He woke up and you realize again, I'm at the place where Hussein ibn Ali alayhi salam is buried. It says, he said 3 times, Ya Hussein, Ya Alatha. Then he said, my dear friend, why don't your friend? I've come all the way to Karbala to see you. Hussein, how come you do not answer me? He mentions to him, you do not answer me, he says, because there is separation between your body. That is why you cannot answer me. He possibly now thought of that Imam Hussein alayhi salam as an infant, that Imam Hussein alayhi salam that was the adornment on the shoulders of Rasulullah, that Rasulullah would delay his prayers for Imam Hassan and Hussein to come up from the back of Rasulullah as a child. You imagine all this. Imagine when Rasulullah would kiss the lips of Imam Hussein. He sees Hussein ibn Ali has been martyred by the same nation of Rasulullah. Inna lillah, inna ilayhi raji'un. Al-Tamasida. Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. Much going bad with it.
After now. So after Matam, there'll be food in the Tabarak outside in the hallways. You can eat there or on your way home. There's not enough room in the main hall for everyone to eat there.
This war pollutes my heart and can misguide. This war pollutes my heart and can misguide. When foreheads touch your sand, they're purified. When foreheads touch your sand, they're purified. All the weight of sins that I brought with me, all the weight of sins that I brought with me, you ignore and still place me by your side. You ignore and still place me by your side. Hearts are hard when the eyes cannot cry. My tears for you have kept me alive. Ya Hussein. Hearts are hard when the eyes cannot cry. Not too hard. Hearts are hard when the eyes cannot cry. My tears for you have kept me alive. This is where we start. Beauty in the pain. Everything we have is for my Hussein. This is where we start. Beauty in the pain. Everything we have is for my Hussein. This is Karbala. This is every last one that passed. Come to our heart. This is something. This word pollutes my heart and can misguide. This word pollutes my heart and can misguide. When foreheads touch your sand, they're purified. When foreheads touch your sand, they're purified. Although sins that I brought with me, you ignore and still place me by your side. Hearts are hard when the eyes cannot cry. My tears for you have kept me alive. Hearts are hard when the cry. My tears for you have kept me alive. This is where we start. Beauty in the pain. Everything we have is for my Jose. This is our beauty in the pain. Everything we have is for my Jose. 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 Ah, Hussein, Ya Hussein, Hussein, Ya Hussein. This is every land till the end of time. On our feet we stand. Karbala, every land till the end of on our feet we stand. With every step we take, we get stronger. With every step we take, we get stronger. On this path, my soul, I wish to conquer. On this path, I wish to conquer. Come into your servitude, oh Master. I don't want you to wait any longer. I don't want you to wait any longer. This Ziyara, the Mahdi, he should take pride in this endless sea. He should take pride in this is what again bring me to walk to Jose. This is where we start again. Bring me every year to this is God every life till the end of time. On our feet we stand. This is Karbala. This is Karbala. till the end of time. We stand. MashaAllah. Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. Hussein, Ya Hussein. The next march will be the to the Holy Land. The next march will be to the Holy Land. Walk till to give him our hand. Walk till Mecca to give him our hand. The sword us is ready. Call on us, we run on your command. Call on us, we run on your command. All your standing line by line. All your armies line. Soldiers have filled up both of the shrines. Soldiers have filled up both of the shrines. Being your servant, I can claim. Keep me behind you, O son of Hussein. Being your servant, most I can claim. Keep me behind you, O son of Hussein. This is till the end of time. On our feet we stand. Ya Hussein, this is till on our feet we stand. Hussein. Hussein. Say, I am the dog, the dust and stop. Say, you see that? Say, I am the dust beneath the dust of your land. I am a beggar to you, I'm reaching my hand. Not too hard, nice. You are the sun behind the clouds, though far you are near. Even if I don't see you, I know you are here. I am drowning, you're the air, you're my comfort in my fear. I wrote your holy name on every ear. I'm at your door, I'm at your door, and I am eating your remorse. If you turn away from me, I will lose my every hope, my only hope. I'm at your door, I'm at your door, and I am knocking, pleading, let me into your remorse. If you from me, I will lose my every hope, my only hope. آقای من، آقای من، آقای من، آقای من. Now you. Aga, my heart, I will shackle you in pain. If you forget Hussein's name, I will sever eyes. I will deny you light years. If you cannot shed a tear, seeing the head, shed you in there, go out and from you. He is all I have. door. My heart is under his door, beating for Arbaeen. Agha, lend me your moments and memories. Say, Agha, man, lend me your holy moments. Not too hard. Allah, say, oh, yeah, man, oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, I am here to see the moon in all its glory. I am here again to listen to your story. Ya Abdullah. I am here to close my eyes and drift away in a far off memory of that holy day. They say death surrounded you, so I came running to you to be with the millions of lovers who came. They call your name, call your name. You were here, dear people, crying Hussein, with a hand on their heart and one hand is wiping the pain, crying Hussein. Let's together say this. Imagine you were in Karbala today. Oh, 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 my, oh, my Hussein. Oh, yeah. Hussein. Hussein, Hussein, Hussein. How long for encounter two more Arbaeen. As I will meet you بين الحق. If I go crazy when Zainab raised me, Sakina trained me, mourning for Hussein, son of Reza. أمين ونعم الأمير ونعم الأمير ونعم الأمير صار رزقنا أمين إحساسي ونعم الأمير ونعم ونعم الأمير سميتك ربنا ببدايتك سميتك ربنا سميتك ربنا سميتك ربنا سكينة when you're كربنا بنا أنا calling hands I'm calling your name I'm calling it's the حرمينا ولو مساء مساء مساء
اللهم صل على رسول الله على رسول الله وآله اللهم صل على رسول الله على رسول الله وآله اللهم صل على رسول